we trust in you. We'll make it through these things. And I appreciate that you do whatever you do and do all you do to help us to accomplish the things that we're trying to do. And we as members of the NAACP, we're committed to doing our part. And as we do our part, Lord, I ask you, if you will, just to bless us and make sure we do the right thing. In Jesus Christ's name, I say amen.
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 Thank you very much, Raymond. For those who want to participate, we'll say the pledge now. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag of the
United States of America,
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one nation,
indivisible,
under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for some.
for all.
For all.
Some.
Thank you. And thank you for that version, Cheryl. It's probably
You're welcome.
more accurate. The NAACP is the oldest and largest civil rights organization in our nation. For over 110 years, the NAACP has worked to expand civil rights for all people, all races, colors, genders, religions, sexual orientations, national origins, and age groups. We affirm that equality is not a charitable gift granted by the majority. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all people are created equal. This NAACP branch is run entirely by volunteers. Now we'll have introductions. Are there any new members or visitors in attendance?
I'm new. My name's Michelle Atha.
Welcome, Michelle.
Well, thank you.
Are you from the area?
Yes, I live in Berkeley County. My friend Emily Santa Maria, I work with her, so
Oh,
she
nice.
shares the information with me.
Very nice. Well, we're glad to have you join us. Thank you. I assure you that our in-person meetings are much better.
I'm sure, but I'm actually glad you're having virtual. It's no time to be meeting in groups.
I agree. Until the weather got too cold, we were actually meeting very distanced and masked at the park, and that was really nice. But yeah, we've been playing it safe since March of 2020. We have not had an in-person meeting since March 2020. Are there any other visitors tonight? Okay, is Kenny Roberts on? He was a guest tonight, the chair of the Berkeley County Democratic Committee.
Tim says he's listening. He's not on the video, but he's listening.
He's on the video, but
he's listening, but he's not on the video.
Is he muted?
No, he's not on the video. He's sitting on the couch listening.
Oh.
Tim, I'm talking about Tim.
No, I said Kenny Roberts.
I know, but I'm telling you that Tim is sitting on the couch listening. He wanted me to tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Hey,
not
Tim.
to interrupt, but there are a few people who emailed me on the listserv. They're trying to get into the meeting, but it's saying it's locked.
Can you ask them to make sure that they use the email message that was sent today and this week, not the very first, because it changed from the last meeting. I'm just wondering if they're trying to get into the last link. And also, I'm going to put my cell phone number in the text. If you could share that with them, tell them if they have a problem to text me, and I'll try to guide them through it by phone. There is no waiting room. I disabled the waiting room so we wouldn't have the problem of people joining late and not being able to get in. So they should be able to get in.
Well, let's see. Let's see, the next item, yeah, Kenny's probably trying to get in because he said he definitely wanted to be here and introduce himself. But we'll go on. Minutes from the December branch meeting. Everyone should have received them by email. If you didn't receive them by email, check and make sure that you're on our listserv at naacp.berkeley.county@gmail.com, naacp.berkeley.county@gmail.com, and just ask to be put on the listserv. For those of you who did see the minutes, does anyone have any corrections or additions you wanted to make?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, look, a whole bunch of people are coming on.
Yeah, I see this.
All right. I think the meeting may have been accidentally locked. I'm not sure. Okay.
Oh, there's Kenny.
Hey, folks. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi there.
Hey, Kenny, hold on just a second. We see some people are coming on that were apparently locked out.
Sure.
For all of you that, there's Lorenzo. Oh, there's Lorenzo. I wondered where Lorenzo was.
Huh.
He told me he was going to be here.
Yeah, man, I've been trying to get it on.
Okay, we're gonna work out the glitches. You know, you guys just bear with us.
I'm sorry. I may have accidentally locked it whenever I was Googling how to poll.
Okay.
Yeah, I had called in, but you had me locked out.
So
Okay.
sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, we're gonna get this. We all may be already vaccinated by the time we get it smooth.
Zakee,
Yes.
Chris Lundberg just emailed to say that her phone is out again.
Her phone is out again.
Yeah,
Ugh.
so
For those who are newcomers, Christine Lundberg is our treasurer, and so we're going to have to skip the treasurer's report, and you're going to have to do that next month. Well, those of you that are on now, does it look like anybody else joining us? Boy, how many we have now? 2, 4,
26.
26. Okay, yeah, that's certainly a quorum. We apologize to everyone who got locked out. That was a glitch. Faye was trying to check on a polling setting and accidentally locked the meeting. We won't let that happen again. The only thing you missed a wonderful opening prayer by Raymond, and you missed our Pledge of Allegiance and our opening statements. We'll go back to the welcome. Any new visitors or newcomers? Raise your hand, unmute yourself. You can introduce yourself.
You get in or you locked out? Mute yourself.
Whoa.
I'm muted.
I just want to warn folks that if you have your computer and your cell phone both on to the Zoom meeting, it will give us feedback and echo like that. So you want to turn one of them off.
Go down here and mute yourself.
Ooh.
Faye, can you tell who that is? No, okay.
I will
Jim.
everybody, and then whenever you want to talk, you'll need to unmute. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, well, let's see. It was that Michelle had introduced herself. Why don't we let Kenny Roberts introduce it? He was our guest, newcomer for this evening. Can you unmute him so he can introduce himself?
Okay. If he could unmute, I may not see him on the screen.
So I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Thank you. Great. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. But it's great to see so many new faces, and certainly some familiar ones, including Tammy, who joins me on the Berkeley County Executive Democratic Committee. I just wanted to say thank you for the invitation to get involved. As someone that has lived in Martinsburg and has left and come back, it's exciting to be part of organizations and get to know organizations like the NAACP, and to see so many faces here on a Tuesday evening. Just a little bit about myself. Just recently, at the top of the year, was just appointed chairman of the Berkeley County Democratic Executive Committee, and have been running quite fast on a lot of issues. And it's just been great to get involved with the community, knowing that this organization stays apolitical, but I think it's just great whenever you can mobilize individuals that are passionate about something. So it's been great to be in a position where I get to do just that and help drive so the next future on the issues that we find is important. So thank you, Zakee, for the invitation to just introduce myself. So want to make myself available. Want to be a frequent participant in these calls, and look forward to engaging with every single one of you when the time is necessary and or throughout this process. So thank you. Zakee, you might be muted.
Yeah, I was sorry about that. I was muted. Thank you, Kenny, and congratulations on your appointment. And we look forward to working with you. And as I indicated in the email to you, that we'll have a political action section later on that we invite some of your ideas and suggestions. So we're going to move rapidly forward. We were at the minutes section. Is there anyone that signed on have any corrections or suggestions for the minutes from the December branch meeting?
There were a few corrections. I had to change the meeting date from the park to Zoom. I added Lynn Coddington to the list of attendees. And then under the education committee, I added that interested members can contact Faye Stump if they want to join the committee. Those are all the corrections I have. Great,
thank you, Vivian. Any other comments? You want to raise your hand, Faye will unmute you. Okay. All right. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes? Looks like Rita Caulfield. Can I have a second? Look like Sandra Lynch. Okay. Now, all those in favor of accepting the minutes as is, raise your hand, members. Okay. All those opposed, raise your hands. Okay, looks like the ayes have it. Thank you. The minutes are accepted. At this point, our branch secretary is going to introduce the nominated new branch secretary and deputy branch secretary.
All right, so before I give you guys my nomination, I just wanted to explain the deputy secretary position a little bit because that's new. So basically the deputy secretary position is going to be the backup for the secretary. So if the secretary needs to take a vacation, needs to miss a meeting, anything like that, that person will know exactly who's going to take over their duties. So I just want you guys to be aware of what you're voting for. So the first person that I want to nominate for secretary, I don't know if she made it on the call because of the technical difficulties, but her name is Alcaprice Mitchell. She's a student from Valley College, currently getting her bachelor's degree in business administration. Caprice, if you're on the call, can you introduce yourself? I don't think she is though. Okay, I'll have to touch base with her about that. But for deputy secretary, I want to nominate Emily Santamaria. She works at the National Conservation Training Center and she has her master's degree in history. Emily, would you like to introduce yourself and share a few words?
Unmute yourself.
Sorry, guys. Hi, I'm Emily, as stated. I'm honored to get this position. I've been looking for ways to get more active in the NAACP, which is an organization I'm pretty passionate about. And I'm, excited to work with people that are doing real work to make real changes, not just community and locally, but nationwide. So thank you. It's a privilege.
Thank you, Emily.
So of course, if things don't work out with Al Caprice, Emily would step up and be the secretary. So I'll pass this back to Zakee and he can start the vote.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept say her name again, Al Caprice?
Al Caprice.
Al Caprice. What's her last name?
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Al Caprice Mitchell as new branch secretary to replace Vivian. There will be a transition period. Vivian has agreed to stay on and shadow Al Caprice and Emily for the next 3 months. Do I hear a motion? Sandra, a second? Rich, okay. Any discussion? Any need for discussion from anyone? Okay, all those in favor of the electing the new branch secretary, Al Caprice Mitchell, say aye or raise your hand. Thank you. All those opposed? The ayes have it, and we have a new branch secretary. Thank you, Vivian, for your exploration and finding a replacement for you. At this time, can I hear a motion to elect Emily Santa Maria as deputy branch secretary? Looks like Rich's hand went up. And second looks like Joshua. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? The ayes have it unanimously. It's unanimous. We've accepted our new branch secretary and deputy branch secretary. Thank you both for agreeing to take on this task. As some of the newcomers may not be aware, the branch secretary is the pivotal role of any branch NAACP. They have been entrusted with really everything that passes through the branch from national and back and forth historically. So they are really the person that makes the branch function in addition to the other officers and executive committee. Okay, thank you, Vivian. This time, has Christina signed on yet or no? Her phone's not working, as I understand. Okay, so we're gonna have to get our treasurer. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, still not here.
Still not there, okay. So we're gonna have to get the treasurer's report next month from Christina. For newcomers, it's an itemization of all the donations, the expenditures and so forth. And just to know that there are no paid salaries in this branch, everything is volunteered. And so we operate entirely on donations and memberships. President's report. We are accepting nominations for second vice president who would operate behind me and Lorenzo if either or I were unable to fulfill our duties or needed to take a break. And so if anyone's interested in second vice president, part of the executive committee, please let us know. The executive committee is composed of the officers and a couple independent members who are called executive committee members. Sandra Lynch and Gloria Jean are those at this time. We also have some co-chair positions. So as we go through the different committee reports tonight, if there's a particular committee that you're interested in, please contact us if you'd be interested in being co-chair of one of those committees. The other thing I want to talk about tonight before we get to committee reports is just how is our NAACP family coping? Let's share, each of us take a turn, if you feel comfortable to share any of your current concerns or hopes as we're all navigating these very rough times.
I'll go ahead and start.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
I was talking to Kathy earlier today. I just feel like I can't function with everything that's going on. And something that really has me very concerned is, for the first time ever, I think it's really in my face, the thousands of like white supremacists and people that hate our way of government and our freedom. And I'm not doing real well. I'm really not. I mean, I'm not going to shoot myself or anything like that. It's just that it's such a shame, because after Biden was elected and then we won the Senate, we haven't had time to like celebrate and be happy about coming out of this awful period. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like more doom and gloom, and it makes me very sad.
I agree with you 100%, and your feelings resonate with mine, Cheryl, and thank you for reminding me that some of us have talked about we have to have a celebration. As soon as we can catch our breath, we are going to plan to just show up on a warm day at Memorial Park. I'm going to have some food delivered from Spice Connection or someplace healthy. And we're just going to take our turns, masked and distanced, to enjoy, see each other's faces, and congratulate us on what we have done as individuals and as organizations to elect Biden and to turn the Senate. Anyone else would like to share?
Zakee, I'm gonna go next.
Okay.
I'm doing good, but these are difficult times, and I empathize with anybody who's struggling. It's not easy. But I have a bit of good news that I'd like to share. I was selected to speak at the Civil Rights Movement. The archive is doing a presentation on Martin Luther King Day, and they've invited veterans to speak. So what they're doing is they took Martin Luther King's speech that he gave. Let me see what it's called exactly. I don't want to misquote here. It's called Beyond Vietnam, A Time to Break Silence. It was given on April 4th, 1967 at the Riverside Church in New York City. And I am doing the last page, page 8. And I'm very excited about doing that. I get to read. So I'll let you know when I get a link, I'll send it out.
Please do, Sandra, please share it. And
That just makes me very happy to be able to do something positive in these most difficult of times.
Absolutely.
Dr. McGill, I certainly have one. I've certainly lately, I guess, before the election was certainly feeling a little anxious, but of course, after the election, and especially after what Ms. Abrams was able to help us accomplish in Georgia, regardless of all the unrest and just civil problems that we're having, I do feel confident in the future, and I do think that that we can get past this once we all just sort of come together and are not thinking so much on other people's wavelengths as opposed to our own. So I am confident for the future, but I am conscious of the present. So I'm certainly watching out, because I do realize that people seem to still really be mad. so kind of both.
Thank you, Joshua.
I'm
Thank you.
Personally doing all right. I'm really concerned about this coming week and election day. I think that we're going to have more of the same. I just really feel that. I hope that there'll be enough people there to stop it, because I think that there's going to be a big mess in DC, and I find it very, very worrisome. That's about it.
Thank you, Wanda. Carol Williams.
Hi. Yes, this is my first time to come to one of your meetings. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I know this sounds odd, but what happened last Wednesday was sort of a verification of what I've suspected is the undercurrent in this country for decades. And it was a validation of that. I probably thought all along that I was more paranoid than other people. And last Wednesday proved that I am not. So it was a release and a relief in some ways. I know that that sounds really perverse maybe, but it's almost easier to come to terms with how we feel, how I feel, knowing that how we perceive things all along is actually a true response. It's a true perception, and it's true. So even though I'm extremely upset, I'm also relieved that it's finally out in the open, and now we can actually get support, we can get it validated, we can get business on the side of talking about this and doing something, and also to boycott the types of behaviors and the types of commerce and the type of capitalism that has allowed this to flourish and to be hidden for decades and decades. So that's pretty much how I look at it. And unfortunately, it's probably a negative way to see it, but at this point, it's sort of getting me through it.
No, I appreciate your comments. You make me think that among some Black folks, when we talk amongst ourselves, we say, we're dismayed, but we're not surprised. We've always known those people were there, and because there's a historical, chord to this. I mean, my mother growing up in Charlestown, West Virginia, was a little girl when a Black GI was beaten to death for wearing his uniform downtown Charlestown. So a lot of us Black folks, we grew up knowing these stories, and knowing what some white people were capable of, and how deep their poison is. So yeah, and we also sometimes say, well, finally some white folks are waking up to it. Finally some white folks are seeing it, because they've either been immune or in denial of it for so long. So
right.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks.
Ginger?
Hi, Zakee. Zakee knows that, like Cheryl, I'm really struggling. But I just want to say I take joy in little things. And one of the things that really makes me happy is to see, young people like Josh and Emily took the great leap of faith and they got engaged recently. So congratulations.
Hey. Amen.
If I could add something, Kelly Manzano just sent me a direct message.
Okay.
That she wanted me to share. She says, if anyone needs a referral to mental health professionals in the community, members can reach her at 304-249-4949, and she can provide information or answer questions. She wasn't sure, she had to leave early and she wasn't sure if it would be helpful. I think it's very helpful. I'll copy and paste her message to everyone.
Okay. And Faye, when you get a chance, would you send me that me or Vivian that email? Maybe we'll send it out to the listserv.
She actually did it in the, yeah, I can copy it and paste it in an email to you. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, you know, I've been talking to a therapist by telephone for a few months now. The distress was such that, you know, first it was COVID, said that I was somaticizing, you know, tightness in my chest and all kinds of symptoms, you know, just knowing I was coming down with COVID. Then with this insanity, this poison that this administration is spewing and percolating and spawning, you know, I found it very helpful to speak to, you know, a therapist, you know, by telephone once a week, once every couple of weeks. So I encourage everyone to really pay attention to your mental health. You know, your mental health and your physical health are inseparable. You know, it's a cliche, but it's true that, you know, your mind exists within your body and the two interact, you know, continuously. Anyone else want to share? Kathy?
I just want to share a quote. I think I shared it with Rita and maybe you, Zakee. This, for some reason, this quote really stuck with me, and it's really something that I keep thinking about, and that is, democracy is the greatest threat to white supremacy. And, you know, somebody mentioned it on MSNBC the other night, and I was like, yes, that is what's happening. So all these people are afraid because our democracy is changing. We're becoming so much more diverse. And, you know, I just wish there was some way we could reach over and find a way to get together with people who are so angry. And I don't know, maybe we'll figure that out somehow as we go along. But I don't know, that just helped me. I don't know if it'll help anybody else, but it's kind of I have a hopeful feeling about the future. And I think, you know, we're going to just keep changing as a country, and we're not going to get less diverse. So we're going to become more diverse. And I think that's going to be wonderful for our country. So, I agree with Carol. I think we get this stuff out on the table, and then we can start to deal with it.
I agree, Kathy. You know, I think that this is the most democratic this country has ever been, because of disenfranchisement of all, you know, all segments of the population. Women until, you know, the early part of the last century, and Black folks until very recently. And, you know, the attacks on the voting rights of Black folks and brown folks. I mean, it's, yeah, I think that's a beautiful quote that, you know.
And, you know, Stacey Abrams isn't going away.
Absolutely.
I mean, she is my hero. And I think that, you know, her model will be replicated across this country in the next 4 years, because I don't think the Dems want to go through another situation like we've been through. You know, this has been horrible. So.
No, I agree. I'm going to echo that when we get to the political action. folks, we're at the, you know, I hesitate to shut this down, but we're almost at 6:40, and I try to keep this to an hour. So we're going to move on to the committee reports. Legal redress. We have a legal consultation fund that's available courtesy of the Shepherdtown's Friends meeting, the Quakers. We've started meeting weekly in Zoom to review cases, and we're dealing with primarily discrimination cases, tax on Black businesses, and VA, the horrible situations going on at the VA hospital. We do have a helpline that's listed in the agenda that everyone should have gotten by email for people to call who are experiencing discrimination. And we're all volunteers. We do need volunteers. If you're interested in this kind of work where you receive a call from someone who's you know, heartbroken, frightened, you know, just really in distress because of discrimination, and be that one voice that maybe they've ever heard that says, you know, I understand and I'm really sorry this is happening to you. You know, please join us. Reach out, send us an email, and we'll loop you into the Zoom meetings. Membership and communications, Rich. Please email Rich for membership forms or to renew, and his email address is listed in the agenda.
Thanks, Zakee. We have 51 members on the list now who are fully paid up, and I want to thank everyone for renewing. And Faye Stump has wonderfully helped us organize the membership list, so now we have a better handle on our membership and ways to contact you as your membership dues come due. They will let you know when that happens. Faye, let me pass it on to you. Do you have any other comments with regard to membership?
I just put in the, you know, in the chat box that one of the things that we can each do is invite other people to join. You know, if people are more aware, I was not, you know, until recently, that NAACP is for everyone, even if they can't attend the meetings. I find that the emails that we receive are very enlightening. And so we have many friends out there who aren't members, but who do support justice and fairness, and who appreciate diversity. So let's invite them. Let's try to grow our membership. And if we each invite a few people, it'd be nice if our goal for 2021 would be to get at least 100 members and double our membership.
Thank you, Rich and Faye. And again, yeah, because we are a total volunteer organization, we are completely funded by our memberships and donations. I did want to say that the Quakers had donated money so that we can offer people a legal consultation when they can't afford that with a lawyer. And also we've received a lot of contributions to help with the Black Lives Matter protesters who were arrested. And we had started dispersing, reimbursing them for bail money that they had to pay while peacefully protesting right here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. The monthly vigil for racial justice, Black Lives Matter, say their names, is every second Saturday, noon to 1 p.m. There were about 40 attenders there this past Saturday. Some of us had fear of possible attacks from white supremacists, but the passersby were very affirming. I tell you, it was a great relief to me because I hate the idea of putting people at risk. But you know, folks should know that there are folks who do feel fearful about showing up there for the vigil, especially some Black and brown folks feel fearful. And I've gotten comments all the way from, I don't know, I just don't feel safe standing out there on that corner, to, man, are you crazy? You know, the police will make a target out of me. if they see my face on that corner. So, you know, the concern is real. And I would say to those of you who don't have any fear or any concerns like that, then please do join the vigil. It is a silent, reverent, respectful witness in this very deeply, you know, conservative, I dare say, backwards county of Berkeley County. Armed Forces and Veterans Affairs. Sandra, do you have anything to report?
I don't have much, but I contacted Aaron Scheinberg today because I came up with an idea on how honorable veterans can maybe help serve in this difficult time. And the idea is that those of us who are computer savvy, like myself and Tammy, can help the FBI. So Aaron is asking about that, and hopefully in the next week or so we can jump on board and help them in a, you know, kind of a an official way, but like to search the internet and search the social sites and do things like that. That, you know, I'm sure they have agents that do that, but it's very time consuming, and their time could be better spent actually finding people while we search for them. So, you know, on the internet. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm really, really hopeful that we can do this, because it'll, for me personally, it'll be very, very rewarding to find those fakers. I'll just call them fakers. Anyway.
Well, they, you know, that, yeah, that's a wonderful idea. I mean, it's just to think that, you know, real actual verifiable patriotic veterans would step up and be a voice that says that this insanity, this insurrection is not okay.
Right.
That really needs to happen.
Zakee.
So I applaud you for looking into that, Sandra.
Zakee?
Raymond, yes.
Yeah, I just want to intervene for 1 second, if I may.
Sure.
You spoke about the VA hospital in Marshville, West Virginia, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Throughout my lifetime and my experience, I would just like to say this, that if there's a situation going on at the VA hospital, this is a challenge I like to take on. I like to take it on because I've been a product of the VA for so many years in Marshville, West Virginia, as well in Washington, D.C. So those that, if you come across any situation at the VA hospital, by all means, contact me. I would take on that endeavor, and I like to look into it. I think that with my, I've been retired now for maybe 3 or 4 years, but, and I also am a veteran, served in Vietnam, served in Germany. And so if we run across any situation that's happening at the VA hospital, I would love to be involved with it. All you have to do is give me a call at 304-268.
Raymond, I know how to get in touch with you. And I think Kathy or Cheryl, who's going to have the phone for the helpline this month?
It's going to be Cheryl as of tomorrow.
Okay, well, Cheryl, you heard Raymond. He wants to be reached out to if there's a veterans issue. Okay. All right. Thank you, Raymond.
Yes.
Let's see. Next is the Education Committee. Rich and Faye.
I'm going to pass the baton on to the new Education Committee Chairperson, based on.
I don't think I'm officially the chairperson yet. Whenever we get organized, we'll see who would like to do that. But we did have one meeting that included Berkeley County teachers who are planning the Africana Studies elective course, writing the curriculum for it and hoping that it will be approved and offered. in the fall. I don't want to take up too much time because I know we don't have much time left, but I'm going to send an email after this meeting to those who have volunteered to be on the education committee, seeing if they can meet this Thursday, the 14th at 6 o'clock. And we will then discuss the essay contest and the document that we're preparing. That's a Google Doc in which we're preparing our ideas and resources to help the teachers who are working on the curriculum. And Jessica may have some other things to add because she's an actual working active teacher in the county who got us connected to the other teachers in that endeavor. Jessica?
End of first session.
I'm sorry, I wish I did have an update, but we have been sort of upside down with the governor's announcement that schools are going to reopen in the height of the pandemic. So that's sort of been dominating all of the conversations I've been having with anyone at the moment. I haven't heard from Celeste in a few days. I'll reach back out to her too and just see where she is with that. But that was I thought it was a really productive meeting. The meeting we had, I learned so much about what they were doing and the process they were going through. It sounds like it's going to be a really great course when they get it off the ground.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. It sounds really exciting. And Faye, you'll compose, make sure Vivian gets an announcement of that meeting and we'll send it to the listserv in case there are others. Because I've had folks from outside of our organization who I share the information with who want to be a part of it as well. And even some folks from Jefferson County are excited at the prospect of including more Black history in the curriculum. So thank
I'll
you.
copy both you and Vivian.
All right, thank you very much. Next, we have the Equal Justice Initiative, the Lynching Memorial Committee, Pat and Lynn.
Hi, yep, thanks. We're actually pushing on with a lot of things these days. We've just finished the final version of the oral history from the Brown family, who are descendants of Joe Burns, who was lynched in Berkeley County. So we have the final version we're ready to give to them, and all we need is their permission so that we can share their oral history with everybody and use it for research. I was actually at the Education Committee meeting, and I'm really encouraged that on behalf of the Equal Justice Initiative, a lot of the things that are going to be going on in Berkeley County schools give us a chance to sort of have more of a conversation and education about lynching and mass incarceration and racial justice. The Equal Justice Initiative has a lot of educational materials on their website, and I've been sharing, and I'm real excited to think that we could be talking about this work in the schools. We're also continuing our research because we need to have a truthful and honest narrative about the murders of John Tolliver and Joe Burns. And so the group is still researching different newspapers and different sources so that we can get that story and that narrative straight and out for people to read. Last month, I think Sandy reported that she and Chris Lundberg collected some soil from under the tree from which Joe Burns was lynched. Work is underway to get that soil into the Raymer Center so it can be housed and displayed there. So lots of different things we're working on, just little bits of this and that at a time.
Thank you, Pat. If you need help, you're talking about getting the soil collection into the museum, the Sumner Raymer Historical School Museum. Okay, I can get in touch with Leonard if you remind me, and make an appointment with Leonard to get over there. You know, he's quarantining like most of us.
Right.
Okay.
So Sandy may have already, Sandy or Chris may have already been in touch with Leonard, so I'll loop back with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That's very exciting. If anyone doesn't know about the Equal Justice Initiative's Lynching Memorial in Montgomery, Alabama, you really should Google it. It's, well, some of us have been there, and it's a life-changing experience, and we're trying to bring a monument from there to our county to honor the men who were lynched in Berkeley County. Green Hill Historical African American Cemetery. You know, Gloria just texted me that she's not feeling well tonight, and there's not much going on right now. Folks do know that they did a consecration there at the cemetery, and it's really a beautiful, peaceful setting that was transformed from a trash dump into what it is now. So if anybody's interested in that kind of particular work, you should reach out to us and we'll connect you with the folks that are part of that project. Black Kids Matter, Brother Lorenzo, Vice President of this branch, is exploring design and wording for the t-shirts for the kids. Lorenzo, did you want to express any of your other visions for the youth projects? You have to unmute, Lorenzo. Unmute. There you go.
Hear me now?
Uh-huh.
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I got it. Okay, well, before I talk about them, I just want to say that I thank everyone for their prayers and their concerns when I went through the COVID for last month. But now, what's going to happen with the Black Kids Matter shirts is that by the next meeting, we will know exactly what we're going to use for the logo and what we're going to say on this t-shirt. Okay, that's all that's in the working right now. Okay.
Okay, Lorenzo, thanks. I know things are really limited in terms of the kids because the schools being on shutdown and so forth. But yeah, I know you had expressed to me some other ideas for visions for organizing the kids in the community so they know that the legacy of the NAACP, and we certainly appreciate that. Appreciate you. And yeah, welcome back. You had us scared, but you can't keep a good brother down.
Thank you, man.
Let's see, political action. Ideas for laying groundwork now for Vote 2022. Increase youth voter registration. Can we model something after Fair Fight in Georgia? Can we involve sports teams like they did? I understand some of the NBA players were wearing Vote Warnock t-shirts. So this is now open. We're going to open this up for any ideas about political action. And I'm going to let Brother Roberts lead us off.
Absolutely. Thank you. And certainly want to be sensitive to our time as we're reaching the end of our balance. But nonetheless, I think there is significant opportunity for us to get engaged here. The Berkeley County Executive Committee had been spending a lot of time talking through how we want to be successful in 2022. And a lot of that is being thoughtful in the messaging that is going on. And another piece of that is also ensuring that we can spend a significant amount of time trying to engage our youth voters. So we, at the executive committee, have put a straw plan together that is going to be hopefully fully baked by the end of this month, where we're going to be leveraging the local schools to get students more involved, as well as I'm glad you put on Fair Fight, being able to emulate some of the best practices that were learned from Georgia. I mean, talk about just great turnout and great work products that we want to be able to steal and not try to recreate the wheel, but see what's applicable to Berkeley County, to the Eastern Panhandle specifically, and then be able to use those best practices to be successful. So I'd be happy to come back and share with you all at the February meeting sort of where we are and how we can all maybe engage and leverage you all as resources to help us continue to be successful. We have a long way to 2022, but there's a lot of work to be done. And there's a lot of folks that are willing and ready to pull on their boots and get to work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. No, you're welcome to come back in February, and you will look forward to hearing what your ideas are. Anyone else have any ideas, suggestions for political action? I see Beverly Van Meter. Beverly, you want to unmute yourself and speak?
It's always where I don't expect it to be, the little icon. Just one comment to Ken's comments. I think we could also engage with West Virginia Can't Wait. They were very helpful in getting some people elected in this past electoral contest. Some of us not so successful, but they have that organization is still active. And Stephen Smith, you might already know him, Mr. Roberts, but if you do, I know him as well, and I think he would be receptive to working with us and would also have some suggestions or resources, personal people or money resources.
Thanks, Beverly. That's extremely helpful, and I'll certainly take you up on that offer and do some research and being able to connect with Stephen about how we can all work together and put all of our resources, whether that's time, treasure, or talent, to be successful.
May I ask, Kenny, whether you have a Twitter account or Facebook or some way that we could follow you so that on a daily basis to see the progress that we're making or see how we can help?
Absolutely. So I do have an active Facebook account, which I'm happy to send to you, Faye, as the secretary, to be able to share that out broadly with folks that want to stay engaged. And then, of course, the Berkeley County Executive Committee also has a Facebook page that I also help manage as well. So definitely two streams of information that are pretty kept up to speed.
Anything on Twitter?
I've been told I need to get more active on Twitter. So not active, have a Twitter account, but hopefully we'll be changing that here soon.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else want to make any comments? Okay, we're right at the 7 o'clock hour. Any new projects or concerns anyone wants to address? Okay. The Sunshine Fund, our historical fund for injured or murdered civil rights protest.
I actually just, not to monopolize time, when you talk about projects, we as a committee will be hosting a food drive in honor of Martin Luther King's Jr.'s birthday this coming week. So I'll certainly be able to share that information with you all. And if you all are inclined to support and be helpful, would certainly welcome that. And again, happy to send more information, but we'll be collecting starting later this week up till Monday, so we can support the city mission in Martinsburg.
Absolutely, we can support that. Please do. I'm sure a lot of us are looking for something to participate in for Martin Luther King's birthday. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, any other comments? Okay. Sunshine Fund is the historical fund for injured or murdered civil rights protesters. Money is available now for Black Lives Matter protesters. If you want to mail checks to P.O. Box 731 Martinsburg, all this information is in your agenda, or the PayPal link on our Facebook page, NAACP Martinsburg, Berkeley County, West Virginia. Please call your representatives once a week. I have phone numbers for Representative Mooney, Senator Capito, Senator Manchin. Protect democracy, peaceful transition to Biden administration, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act needs to be passed. Any last passions or concerns or comments before I ask for a motion to adjourn?
Hey, Zakee, just really quick. There is another West Virginia representative who he's a state senator, okay, who attended the insurrection the other day. There's a petition going around to ask him to resign, to pressure him to resign.
He already resigned. He resigned yesterday.
Well,
No,
there's
that was the delegate, Lorenzo. It's Sandy speaking of a second one, a actual state senator.
Mike Azinger is his name.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave a very unrepentant interview on Hoppy Kercheval about a day or two ago.
Yes, he did. So I'm just sharing that. If you see it, sign it.
You can go.
If you'd like to share it, we could send it through the listserv if you like, Sandy.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I have a question. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act, is it in the House or the Senate right now?
It already passed the House in 2020, so it'll.
Oh my God. Okay, it's in the Senate.
So it'll have to be, I think what'll happen, the Senate's probably not going to pass it. So it'll have to be passed in the House again and then resubmitted to the Senate in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, all bills are dead as of
Right.
when the new
Right.
came in.
Exactly.
We have to start over.
I was hoping just on a light note, I just wanted to thank, I guess, all of our new members and, of course, existing members, and thank Ginger for that shout out to us, of course. And Mr. Roberts, I certainly looked you up a little bit. You have just a great resume. And I just wanted to ask you one question on a light note. If you only had one person to pick in a doubles match, would it be Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer?
I'm privy to Nadal just because he has been someone that we're not too far in age, and I think has just been a great example of sportsmanship. But I appreciate the tennis reference. I do enjoy playing quite a bit of tennis.
Yes, sir. Well, we certainly appreciate you being here, and thank you for so much help. And Emily and I particularly look forward to helping out as much as we can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that also. Anyone else?
Yes,
Rita?
I'd like to put in a thank you to Vivian for all your work, all your hard work this last couple of years. You did a great job.
Great job, Vivian.
Great job, Vivian. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. It's been an honor, really.
And she's been so good that other branches try to steal her from us. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll
make a motion.
Second, Lorenzo, second.
Yep.
Like Rich waving in the background. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, guys. We kept it just to an hour. Appreciate your time, your love. Stay safe. And, moving forward.
You too. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, man.
And ballistics on the slugs that Loretta pulled from Penn's body. 9mm, 147 grain NATO rounds, subsonic, laced with depleted urine. Sounds suppressive, armor piercing, military. I traced the bullets back to a batch that